as we're speaking? The draft?
Yeah,
is it still on?
It's still on. I think they're almost finished the first round. Like, let me check.
I don't know. I think it's
They're at
20.
They're at pick 18. They just did 17. So the Islanders just picked. So the Islanders just picked Montreal's 2 pick that they traded, which is a good segue into the first topic. So obviously today was a big day for the NHL. Huge, as Trump would say, huge. Right? A lot of moves today.
No, you would call it the big beautiful trade or a big beautiful deal.
Let's make the Habs great again. Let's make the Habs great again.
Yeah,
That's
a good one.
It's true though, actually.
It looks like it's happening with we finally have some management that know what the hell they're doing, right? Or are not making stupid moves. Well, I was scared today that a stupid move was gonna happen, but it didn't. But we'll get into that. So
give a breakdown, Tony, of what was the trade? What was the?
Well, there was since last night. There was a rumor that the Islanders were gonna trade Dobson.
Yeah, there was rumors. Yeah,
and it was either Columbus and Montreal as the front runners, right? And they're both more or less at the same level. Columbus, I don't think, was able to offer something. Montreal, supposedly, they're not saying who, but they wanted their initial offer was their 16th pick, an asset, and a prospect. So I'm guessing it was either going to be one of their defensemen down in Laval and somebody on the roster, right? Plus whatever they signed them for. I like the possibility of having to go get him, but I was scared they were going to give up too much, especially for what was the rumored asking price. But what do you guys think of the final? They ended up, just for whoever doesn't know, they gave up their 2 first-round draft picks.
Yeah.
Pick 16, which was from Calgary.
I was expecting that.
17. Huh?
I was expecting that.
I was expecting that too, but I was also expecting them to...
Hey, everybody. Thanks for sticking around. If you're loving this content, hit the like button and subscribe and join to our awesome community. Ring that notification bell so you'll never miss a beat. Together, we're building something so special. Let's grow this channel and let's have some fun along the way. For some more content, check out these other fantastic channels. You got Checkin accounts. Dive into the world of finance and economics, baby. Let's go. Big money. And Checkin reports. Stay informed of the latest political news and current events. Hello? So that's it, fam. Come and check us out.
Sign them for 10, 11 million. Plus, give away either Mailloux or Reinbacher, which is what everybody thought was gonna go the other way.
Okay, so listen. First of all, Dobson is gonna be a superstar. Gonna be amazing for us. I think we really did a fantastic job with this type of pickup. Because what are you gonna get out of your prospects and that we have?
He's gonna be a superstar for the team, but he's not gonna be a superstar NHLer. I don't think.
Okay, so
I don't think.
I might disagree on you. I think that with the type of team that we have, I think this guy might be a good fit for us.
He's a top.
What position?
He's a defenseman. He's a right wing. He's a right shot defenseman. He's 6'4", 225
Sounds like he fits the bill of what we need, man.
To the T, he fits the bill. But he's an offensive defenseman. He can skate. He can move the puck. He can score on the power play. He's good defensively. He's not great. He's not to the level of Makar or Hughes. He's not there. That's for sure. Let's.
Oh no, he's not going to be a Makar.
Well, that's what I'm saying. He's a good second-tier, first-line defenseman. He's not a top 10 defenseman in the NHL. He's maybe top 20 around there. So
when it comes to draft picks, I think in any sport,
he's not a draft pick.
Oh, he's not a draft pick.
No, he's 6 years in the NHL.
Oh, that's what they received for their draft picks? Is that okay?
He's a restricted free agent. He's 25 years old. He plays
sorry. Okay, I thought you were talking about a draft pick.
No.
First round draft picks. We traded them away for.
We had 2. We had Calgary's first round.
Yeah.
At 16, and we had our own at 17.
Okay.
But this year's draft is very
It's watered down.
It's not watered really, down. It's not, after 10,
it's in hockey, it's like that, man. You don't get that generational franchise player every single year like you do in the NFL, practically.
Listen, the way I see it, in a regular draft where it's packed, giving away 2 draft picks for a player, I think is insane. But Montreal also, they've accumulated draft picks in the last few drafts. They're at a place where they want to continue to grow. They don't want to not make the playoffs next year. And I think them drafting and waiting for a mediocre player that they're probably going to get that's going to be ready in 4 years, 3-4 years. They can't wait for 3-4 years. All these guys that have been grinding and getting ready, like the Suzukis and the Caulfields and the Slavkovskis.
Yeah, when you put
they're ready now to start moving to that next level.
Mike D'Amico, I don't know if he's an analyst on TSN, right? Or I don't know if he's on TSN
Not
or not.
Mike D'Amico, it's D'Amico, yeah.
D'Amico, I forget his first name.
Steve, just direct the mic towards your mouth.
Sure. And so he was saying that Marco, okay. So Marco D'Amico, he was mentioning that this year maybe was not as good offensively with the Islanders, but defensively he's been growing.
Yeah, he is.
Oh,
yeah. So,
okay, first of all, I just want to put a disclaimer. I think Steve is just propping this guy up because he has the rookie card.
that was the end of my whole spiel afterwards. Like, hello.
I'm watching the ticker over here of the value, and when Tony talks, it dips. And when Steve talks, it goes up again.
Right. Yeah, it's been a while. I was like,
listen,
who is this guy, Noah Dobson? All of a sudden he's the Habs.
Listen,
yeah, baby.
Because he's a right shot defenseman.
Yes.
Right off the bat, the value of this player at this time of year will go up because in the last few years there's been such a decline in right defensemen being drafted, so there's less of a commodity of these. So when you're gonna go trade for one, it's gonna cost you a lot more. Plus the salary cap's going up, right? The draft is watered down, so we were gonna overpay for him, right? But when they were projecting $10-11 million, I go, this is insane. Plus they have to give up. They were gonna give up either Reinbacher or Mailloux. I didn't want another repeat of when they gave away what's his name?
McCarron.
Sergachev and
Sergachev,
McCarron.
yeah.
Yes, both of them. The Gomez trade and the Durant trade.
Yeah,
and then they got screwed.
And the Tenorti too. There was always
Tenorti, whatever.
He was a flop.
But what I'm saying is there was a lot of
prospects,
a lot of saviors that we were supposed to have, and
yeah, those are two.
Didn't pan out, man. Didn't pan out, unfortunately.
But guess what, though? I'm sorry to cut you off here, but at this point, I think that we're looking at they're setting up again. Now, what's the next move that they need to get? Obviously, is that second line center.
It was larceny. They freaking got a great. They did a move. I don't know what Islanders were thinking, but they should have.
But at the moment, they only have $2 million in the salary cap. That's part of Montreal's salary cap. That's left over, right?
No, they had 6, but they need to offload salary.
Yeah, exactly.
So they're over the salary cap right now. So
price doesn't go against the salary anymore. Never know. It doesn't.
They could if they decide to either put him on LTIR.
But right now, he's part of the salary.
He's part of the salary, yeah. Or if they decide to trade his contract.
Why is he not considered LTR?
They don't. Why would you want to put him on LTIR?
To free up money, no? To free up.
Yeah, but it's complicated. In order to do that, I forgot what the rules are, but it impeaches you on the next couple of seasons on your cap. So
there's some cons to putting him on LTIR.
There's a lot of cons. Unless you're a competing team, that's when it benefits, and you're going to the Stanley Cup, you want to compete.
Right.
That's when it benefits you the most. But for a team like Montreal, unless they really have to, they shouldn't be putting him on LTIR. If they have to do it, they're gonna trade his contract.
Where did this guy play? Where did we pick him up from? What team?
The Islanders.
Oh, the Islanders.
Yeah.
And it's a 4th-year player.
6th-year player.
6th-year player. Okay.
25 years old.
Okay.
So
he's entering into his prime.
Good. That's probably a good thing. Yeah, exactly.
So it's not that I didn't like the trade. I was scared about them
smart thing.
doing stupidities.
And who would you compare him to? Like a Klinberg or something like that? Who's he comparable?
He's 6'4".
Yeah.
I don't know. I guess for a comparable, it's hard to compare. I'd say something like.
No. He's an offensive defenseman.
Yeah.
He's got some.
That's why I said
he's a higher tier than Mike Madison.
Okay.
He's a better. Yeah. He's one tier up from Mike Madison.
Yeah.
That's how I would compare.
Who's he gonna line up with? What do you think?
With anybody.
Hudson.
You could put him with Hudson. You could put him with goalie. Either or is fine. I don't. It depends what they do. They're good right now. Pierre Maguire made a comment today that I was listening to. He goes, there's never too much. It's never a bad thing to have too many defensemen. Now you can even have the option of having Jacky play as a forward and having that physical presence on your third line.
Yeah. Why not?
And have that defenseman also on that seventh defenseman on the ice.
Can anybody do that? Or it's just any player can just switch it up and be like, you're a defenseman this year, and then next year you're going to be a winger. You know what I mean? I know Markov was actually a forward, and they made him a defenseman, right?
When he was in the Habs?
Andre Markov, yeah.
When he was in the Habs, they made him a defenseman?
He's naturally a forward, and I guess they drafted him or they picked him. I don't remember the history.
He was drafted as a defenseman.
He was drafted as a defenseman, but he's actually a forward. That's the thing. He forward.
He probably played forward in his youth, but in his junior career,
he never played forward for the Habs, just to make that clear. That's what I mean. He never played forward for the Habs, but he was actually categorized as a forward when he played before he was drafted. That's what I had heard. That Markov was actually a forward.
Well, it's like Bufflin when he played for Chicago and they won the Stanley Cup.
Yeah, he went back and back. He went back and forth. And you can't
put him in front of the net and clear the whole
PK
area.
Subban couldn't have been a forward. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Come on, PK could have definitely.
Well, yeah,
I don't know. He had the hands, the talent, man.
Same thing like Carlson could have been a forward. For
yes, exactly. Burns, maybe even?
They're basically forwards.
They're basically forwards that play back. Exactly. Yeah. They're a little deeper in the behind everyone else.
Yeah,
basically.
Anyways, I think Ireland got screwed because I think they were planning.
So you think they got a bad deal? You think?
Oh no, I think they were trying to take those 2 picks to try and move up again for another higher pick because they're picking first overall, right?
Got it.
But they wanted to get James Higgins. Then the Bruins got him at 7th or 8th, whatever. 7th. So they got screwed. So they ended up using those picks. I think they wanted to move up.
Marco D'Amico actually mentioned that on TSN. He mentioned that exactly thing, that they were trying to move up with those 2 picks.
Yeah, probably with the Pittsburgh spot. But Boston ended up taking him, which is a good pick. He's a centerman.
There was also today Brandon Carlo that got moved too, right?
Sure.
I forget who I saw that. Let's find out.
Yeah, let's find out.
Anyways, I'm surprised. It's a good move. I'm happy. They still 9.5 is still a lot, but for the market, you're gonna overpay. So I'm happy with that. But I'm just happy they gave up no top tier prospect, which is happy because I'm surprised. No top tier prospect came out of Montreal. Can't believe they pulled that off. That's the biggest win for Montreal.
In our chat group,
really cool.
I don't know if it was a rumor or you guys were saying about the Reinbacher Mailloux being part of the deal. Was that you guys saying, or that was some rumors?
That was the thing. I was sure Reinbacher was going, but everybody was saying Mailloux, which made sense because I don't think Montreal wanted to part ways with Reinbacher. But
really cool.
All the teams, especially for this trade, for this type of defenseman, like he's a good defenseman. He's a top line defenseman, and he's probably gonna make Team Canada next year for the Olympics. Yeah. They were gonna look for something in return as a defenseman. I don't understand why they didn't get anything, but I was sure it was gonna be Reinbacher. That's why I was skeptical about not wanting to do this trade. But then when it happened, I was like, okay.
Are you disappointed losing Heineman? I mean, no.
You know why?
Why?
Because he's a bottom 6 player, and that's a diamond does. You can get these players replaced every year. It doesn't matter. If one doesn't work out, you get another one. They're not expensive players, and they're accessible all the time. It's the higher end players, the top 6 players that it's hard to get. Now their number one priority is what?
The second line.
Second line, and they have to do something. I'm sorry, even though they made a big splash on defense. You have Demidov coming in next year. You can't have him play on a second line with his talent and not have some support there. If it's not a centerman, they gotta get a winger. Even if it's for like 2-3 years, they gotta get somebody. I believe.
I gotta tell you honestly, I'm enamored how much you know and how much knowledge you have of the Habs. Honestly, man, I take my hat off, man. Honestly, it's pretty impressive. No, seriously, it's really cool to see how much you know. Are you a really diehard Habs fan?
I'm a hockey fan.
Just hockey fan in general.
I love the Habs. They're my team. But
did you ever have another hockey team that you liked or like you followed, or is the Habs number one? Habs is number one.
I love the Habs, but I follow to see what other teams do more or less. Like. Because you want to know what other players.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So
you love the sport. You love the sport of hockey.
Sport, yeah.
Okay. I get it.
Same thing. You follow different teams, how different players.
Absolutely.
Same thing. So see what July 1st brings. Because Montreal now has to. The only way they're gonna make a splash is through July 1st. They have to Get rid of some
So
salary
what can
cap,
they do? They can trade a guy, retain some salary, maybe.
or pick up an unrestricted free agent on July 1st.
Mm-hmm.
And we're
Yeah.
also going to see if there's a contract already in place for Lane Hudson,
Laney.
which I think there is. I hope there is.